In this video, we'll demonstrate how to clean a bathroom that is very messy. There's no organization. As you can see, there's a lot of soap scum in the tub. So the first step is always the long dust. You want to dust for cobwebs in the corners, and you want to make sure you dust the light fixtures and also dust the air vents. And dust the towel racks. And the next step here will be to remove these small area rugs and just place them outside of the room. And you would also dust them with your small hand brush. And next you will collect the trash. There's a lot of trash on the floor here. Just go ahead and replace the same bag if the customer did not give you a fresh bag to put in there. Just dump all the trash into your big trash bag and put back the same little bag in the trash can. Next up, you'll do your dry or your dust mop on this floor. There's a lot of dirt on that floor, and this will be to sweep away all that dirt and to remove all the hair on the floor before you actually start cleaning it and getting this floor wet. You always want to do this in a bathroom that's very dirty. You want to do your dust mop before you start the actual cleaning of the bathroom. So this is the same as sweeping, and this is called your dry mop or your dust mop. Okay, next we're going to move a whole bag into the bathroom so you're not walking back and forth. You want to keep this bag close to you because you will be using a lot of the tools you have in this bag. So the closer you have it with you, the better. And the less time you're going to be wasting traveling back and forth to your bag. So you want to keep this as close to you as possible. This bathroom is very dirty, so we are spraying a lot of cleaner. Here you see her spraying both the bleach and the all-purpose cleaner at the same time, and she's making sure to hit all the corners, and she's getting a lot of this cleaning solution onto this tub and these tiles because they are very dirty. They have a lot of soap scum. So the more of this that you are able to get onto the surface, the better it will be. And you want to spray it ahead of time so that you allow proper dwell time for the solution to start working. And by the time you get there, hopefully it'll be just a little less work for you, and it would have already started working on some of that mold. As you can see, this counter is pretty cluttered, and you will need to clear this counter space so that you can actually work. And just make sure you put away any towels. That way you don't spray any cleaner on the towels and mess up the client's towels. So just move those out of the way before you start spraying. After you've done spraying, the first thing you would use on this countertop will be your sponge. You may put a little bit of cleanser onto the sponge itself to give you just a little more scouring strength. But the first thing is going to be to use the sponge first and completely clean the entire sink and the entire countertop. And you want to focus in on areas where you can see some trouble spots. And the second thing you would use would be your toothbrush, and you would work around the faucets, and you'll be removing hot water stains, mold and mildew. If you come in closer, there's a lot of mold that is collecting around this front of the tap. Just focus in on small details like that. These make all the difference for your customer. So this is a very essential step that you should not miss. And also you want to use this tool to get the drain, and you clean that ring that always gets very dirty. It turns brown if you never ever clean inside those seams. And you give it a really good rinse. Also, again, you want to make sure you're using hot water for your rinsing. This allows the surface to dry a lot cleaner and a lot faster, thereby saving you time when you get down to your wiping and polishing phase. Okay, now everything is thoroughly rinsed. We're going to allow for that to air dry. We've used hot water, so now it should be drying, and we can move on to cleaning the mirrors. And here you just go ahead and spray directly onto the mirror, your foam spray, and you would use your green cloth to clean and polish this mirror. Just make sure you get close and you bend forward so you can see real closely some of the trouble spots. Make sure you wipe the side of that wall there. There's always a lot of splatter from brushing your teeth and also just from washing your face. So you have to clean that side wall. And next we're going to clean the front cabinets. For this we'll use our blue cloth and some of the all-purpose solution sprayed directly onto the cloth itself. just go ahead and wipe clean the front cabinets. You know, you want to focus on the handles that get touched a lot. Around the handles is where you have a lot of buildup. And you also want to wipe down the side of that cabinet as well. And also wipe down that toilet paper holder. Okay, next we'll be cleaning the toilet. Just spray some of the Comet into the inside of the toilet bowl. And again, you just want to use the toilet brush to clean the seams. There's always a lot of discoloration that occurs around those seams and those hinges. This was already pre-sprayed earlier with bleach and all-purpose cleaner. And then you would work on the inside of the bowl. Again, just making sure you get real good underneath the lip of that bowl, and also getting really good inside that hole. Give it a really good scrub. You almost always want to flush it immediately. And then you would get your Promise stick, and you would want to just scrub on the underside of the toilet bowl. Just make sure there's no residue that is building up underneath there. Just use your toilet brush to just go over it again one more time. And just give it another good flush. All right, next you're going to start your wipe down of the toilet. And here you will take your blue cloth and spray it with some bleach. A little bit will go a long way. And just work your way from top to bottom, making sure you are wiping the sides of the tank itself. For this part, you could either use your blue rag, or you can use a paper towel if you have access to paper towels. Otherwise, just go ahead and use the blue rag. Just make sure that once you have completed using it on the toilet, you completely separate it and you put it somewhere else, and that way you don't reuse it anywhere else in the house. There's a little stain on that toilet seat, so she'll just put a little bit of Comet onto the rag itself and just give it a good scrub. A little bit of Comet on your rag makes it a little bit more abrasive, and you can lift off stains easily. So you don't even have to switch tools. You can just be using the same tool. And just by adding some of that Comet, you were able to actually remove that stain that was on that toilet seat. She continues just wiping. And once it gets dirty, you can flip it over onto the other side. If it's too dirty, you would change it and get a fresh, clean blue cloth and continue wiping. In this case, she was able to just fold it over and start using the other side. Just make sure you wipe the underside of the toilet seat and also that underside of the basin, and completely wipe down the legs and the base of the toilet. And then next you just get a clean blue dry cloth and just go over it one more time. This is just to pick up any remaining dirt or any remaining lint, just to make sure everything is super clean and there are no streaks anywhere. Doesn't hurt to flush several times, so always flush and you make sure nothing is coming from the underside of that lip. And next we're going to tackle the tub. And this is, as you can see, it's very dirty. There's a lot of soap scum here. We actually have an issue with this particular tub. And the issue is that the water goes down slowly. So I would not be using a lot of water to clean this tub. I just filled up a little bit of water on the base, and I'll be using that water to help me clean along. So the first step is to start with your sponge. Just put some Comet onto your sponge. This will give you more abrasive power on your sponge. And just start cleaning the tile of this shower wall. This is going to lift off all of the soap scum that is on the shower wall. And make sure you clean the soap holders thoroughly. Clean the underside of the soap holder, and make sure you get all the soap off the soap holder as well. And still focusing on just the tiles of the shower wall. The next thing you're gonna do is use the brush to clean the grout lines of this shower wall, and just start from one end of the wall and start scrubbing the grout lines of the shower. If you skip this part, you start to get a lot of mold building up in between these grout lines. So you got to do this part to make sure that there is no mold that is collecting and building in between these grout lines, and also to remove any potential mold that would have started growing since your last clean. For this customer, it's been a month since their last clean, so there is mold that is actually collecting in between these grout lines. So this will be the second step following you using the sponge. The second thing you'll do is use the brush to clean the grout lines. And the next step is going to be to rinse off these towel walls. And like I said earlier, this customer has a problem with the drainage. It goes down slow. So I'm just going to make the blue cloth moist, and I will go ahead and just glide that over, and this will do my rinsing for me. Ideally, this is the part where I'll be using hot water to rinse off, but because we have this problem with this customer's shower, we're just going to clean this part with the blue cloth and just rinse it off this way. So this shows you that even though there are some challenges, there's always a workaround to every situation. So here, even though I cannot use a lot of water to rinse off this wall, I'm able to just use my blue rag and make it wet and just rinse it off that way and just start wiping with my blue cloth. And now next I can tackle the actual tub itself. I'm just clearing all the items that are around the tub so I can give myself space to work. So the first step to clean this tub is going to be using the sponge and some of the cleanser. You need quite a bit of cleanser to get rid of a lot of the soap scum. With the sponge, you would use the abrasive side of the sponge, just moisten it with a little bit of water, and with the Comet, this should give you enough strength to cut through that soap scum and actually clean it off. And if you do get to a point where you feel like you need more Comet, by all means go ahead and add more Comet. But like I said before, the more Comet you use, the more rinsing you're going to have to do. So only use as much as you need to get the job done. And this tub is really dirty. You're going to follow the sponge with the brush. This tub base is also grainy in nature, and the best thing to use on that surface will be your brush. Also, just spray a little bit of that cleanser. This will also assist you in your brushing. Also, again, because this customer has a drainage problem, I will not be rinsing. Otherwise, ideally, this is the part where I will be rinsing with hot water. But because this customer has a slow drainage, I will not be using a lot of water. Rather, I'll just make the blue cloth wet, and I will go ahead and wipe everything down. At times you might find that there's still a trouble spot and you want to troubleshoot that and see if you can get it a little cleaner than what you have revealed. So you can just go ahead and try to see if you can do something extra there. He or she has determined that maybe she she could scrub that a little bit better, so she's using her brush to see if she can get that a little bit cleaner. All right, next we're going to move on to our polishing phase. And for this phase, we'll be using the green cloth and some of our foam sprayer. Just spray directly onto the rag and just start working from one end and work all the way around, making sure you are just polishing, making sure there are no streaks anywhere. You want to polish the faucets and just make sure everything is feeling smooth and clean, and most importantly that there are no streaks left. On this glass tile, it shows streaks if you do not complete this step. This is very important considering that with this particular shower we were not able to rinse thoroughly, so this part has to be done really, really well. Just work from top to bottom, left to right, right to left, whichever direction you're going. But every part of this shower tile has to be polished, and you also would use the same cloth to polish off and to completely dry off the tub as well. And this would also pick up any remaining residue that would be on the base of the tub. This would be the part where you would make sure you pick it up. There's no leftover hairs. And also make sure you wipe the outside of the tub. And finally, just take time to put everything back neatly. And here we've let our sink and countertop air dry. We use hot water here, so there is not a lot of wet wiping for us to do. So this step goes by fairly quickly. And next you just go ahead and polish it with a green cloth and some of our all-purpose foam spray.
You start.
Yeah.